Hello everyone, my name is Ian De La Cruz, a student of BIS IT2. I am here to discuss my chosen issue that exists in our society that I found it interesting, and it is poverty. The Philippines is a country located in Southeast Asia comprised of more than 7,000 islands. Poverty has proven to be one of the most significant challenges facing this country and its citizens. Filipinos are having a hard time surviving in such difficult conditions, and more are falling into extreme poverty. According to the Asian Development Bank, the major causes of poverty include low economic growth, a weak agricultural sector, increased population rates, and high volume of inequality. Because these factors, there are lots of effects of poverty in the Philippines that make it difficult for people to live in such circumstances. First is inability to afford housing. With poverty plaguing the country and employment opportunities being scarce, many Filipinos are unable to afford the housing, which puts them into danger of turning the street for accommodation. In 2012, extremely poverty within the Philippines affected 19.2% of the population, or around 18.4 million people. This poverty line survived of 1.2 1.25 a day, making it extremely difficult to rise out of poverty and find affordable housing for Filipinos and their families. The second is malnutrition in the Philippines. Hunger is one of the extreme effects of poverty in the Philippines. With little money to buy food, Filipinos are having to survive on very limited food. Even when food supplies are stable, they are most accessible in other areas where people have enough income to purchase the food. And with such an equal distribution of income, there is a low demand for food supplies in least developed areas that are home to low-income residents. The quality of food is also decreasing. Rice used to be the main source of food for Filipinos, but now it has largely been replaced with instant noodles, which is cheaper but less nutritious. As a result, malnutrition has become a lot more common. Third is child labor. With poverty taking a toll of Filipinos, parents often can't make enough money to support their families. Children then had to be taken out of school to work in harsh conditions. Statistics shows that around 3.6 million children from ages 5 to 17 are child laborers in the Philippines. This is 15.9% of the entire population. Fourth is crime and terror. With conditions so troublesome, people often resort to crime and terror to survive. Research found that one of the overwhelming reasons to steal is due to difficulties caused by poverty. With proper employment, people turn to stealing, especially since family sizes are rather large and there are a lot of people to provide for. There are too many people and not enough resources, and with such condition, people become desperate and practice drastic measures to provide for themselves and their families. Even with later statistics found in 2015, 21.6% of the population live below the poverty line. Conditions do not seem to be improving, but there is always a way or hope for a new development. As a result, it is important to understand the effects of poverty in the Philippines because it is a country in need of assistance. Question number 2. How is moral act, moral decision, moral growth, moral development, and moral life achieved by a particular individual? Most people follow society's law. They also abide by certain social mores which are governed by morals. While morals tends to be driven by personal belief and values, There are certainly some common morals that most people agree, such as always tell the truth, have courage, treat others as you want to be treated too, do not judge the book by its cover, take your responsibilities for your actions, always have patience, have respect for yourself and to others. Moral decision also can be achieved. As a result, there is a list of morals rights that go into consideration when making a decision. This includes the right to choose what kind of life to lead, to be told the truth, not to be injured, and the right to privacy among others. In moral development, people at this level of moral base their decisions on what their parents or law enforcement says it's right. For example, a student may think students who cheat on tests are bad, so they will not cheat. And lastly, our moral life. Moral is recognizing that my life is my own, and no one else to believe in my own way. According to my values and belief, it is difficult to release oneself the expectation of others and to question the assumptions that allows us to avoid the discomfort of personal decision making.
I'm an icon, man. I'm a girl about a 10. I should fuck her in the Benz.